Hello and welcome back. I hope you are well. I'm Dana, and in this week's video we are having a little sketchbook session. I am going to be sketching with this polychromos pencil in magenta. I got some other pencils out as well that you can see off to the side, but I only ended up using the magenta in the end. And I'm going to be drawing from this replica of a cat skull. This is a replica that is cast in resin, and it's in two parts, so the lower jaw can be removed, and it's pretty realistic. The main difference that you can notice is when you remove the bottom and you look inside, the inside is filled in, especially for the cranium and the upper jaw area near the nose is just a block of resin, which is a little bit different than actual animal skulls. So this is a life-size replica, and I'm going to be studying it today both to improve my animal anatomy knowledge and also for the many benefits of drawing from life and drawing from 3D objects. So I'm going to be drawing from a few different angles, and for each sketch I will show you briefly the rough angle that I'm going to be drawing at by putting the skull in front of the camera roughly in that angle. And I go in with a very light sketch to block in the basic angles, the big shapes, and then refine from there and end up with darker lines at the end. It's a very similar sketching approach you'll see in my other studies. And originally I was going to be doing this video as more of a almost like live stream style, real-time, long form with an active mic so that you could hear the scratching of the pencil, because I know that a lot of people really enjoy that. I enjoy that, watching long form videos and just hanging out with a drawing buddy online, basically. And I couldn't end up doing that for today's video because we have building work going on outside, and I didn't want to subject you all to the sounds of drills and builders chatting loudly and hammering and everything on top of the scratchy pencil drawing. So we ended up going with a time lapse today, but let me know if you would be interested in longer form sketching videos, because I certainly enjoy doing them. I've mentioned in one of my first videos on the channel that I used to do live streaming, but I can't because of my current internet situation anymore, and doing long form, almost like live stream-esque videos is something that I'm still really interested in doing. I know that some people really love having long videos on in the background while they draw. I certainly do. I also do enjoy the benefits of shorter form videos as well from creators. I think that there's a place for both of them in the art community, and yeah, I'll probably do a mixture and see which I enjoy the most doing, or just go with what I feel like doing at the time. So I'm currently finishing up this angle. The camera is a little bit out of focus on this one, but it does focus up on the remaining sketches that I do. This is the only replica skull that I own. It's the only skull I own, but it's the only replica skull I own, and I'm really interested in getting some for other animals as well. I think it would be useful having one for cats, so this is domestic cats. It might be useful having a bigger cat skull, maybe like a lynx or something, a little bit different. but it'd be useful having a skull in like the dog family, so something like a coyote skull, something a bit smaller than a wolf skull. And then I can see like the differences in the anatomy between the cat family and the dog family. I do have references of skulls that are just pictures from courses I've taken and reference packs that I've got for studying animal anatomy, but there is definitely a benefit to having a 3D form that you can hold and you can turn and you can light it in different ways. It makes for a very interesting still life study as well for painting or just sketching in graphite as well, or in this case colour pencil. I went with colour pencil for this kind of on a whim. I kind of just felt like colour pencil was screaming at me when I was sitting down to sketch for this. I wanted the feeling of a colour pencil, and I also was really appealed. I was drawn to the inability to erase at the time as well. I wanted to just sit down, sketch, do some studying. I do enjoy quite a few different kinds of studying in art, and animal studies, even animal anatomy studies like this, do really interest me and they make me happy. And it's always a good thing when you have lots of studying to do if you are wanting to improve, actively improve in arts. It's useful being happy and enjoying the studies that you're doing. There are areas that some people might not find as appealing, and they kind of need to do them or find ways to do them that are suited better for them. This is, of course, only talking from the perspective of wanting to pursue art in a bunny marks more serious way, as in wanting to actively be improving rather than from like a more hobby point of view of just diving in and doing it because you enjoy it and you're not particularly wanting to study or have a curriculum or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with either perspective, and there's a place for both in people's lives. I tried to do a mixture of different angles to study, so I started with some basic, like profile and front on, and then I went into some 3/4 angles for the last couple sketches, which were a little bit more of a challenge to draw. The one that I'm currently doing right now, I enjoyed doing the most. I did quite enjoy the last one as well, but this one definitely I enjoyed the most, and I think it came out not the best, but it's the one that I liked the end result of the most out of the ones that I did today. I am using my usual studying sketchbook of the Art Creation by Royal Talons. I still love it the most for just studying, doing loads and loads of sketching, mainly in dry media. I have really been enjoying the Hahnemühle Nostalgie sketchbook for pencil drawing recently, but I have found myself feeling a little bit more serious when I use that book. I feel like I need to be doing more sort of finished works or not really messing around and playing as much in it. It's kind of it's a my own perspective thing on it, like when you hear artists say that they can't use really expensive materials because then they feel pressured by it. I definitely do still struggle with that, and it's something that I'm working on still, and I have been feeling that a little bit with the nostalgia. The loose sheets of paper, so the A5 pad and the A4 pad that I have less pressure with those, but when it comes to the bound sketchbook, I start to feel pressured. And the level of pressure I feel is nowhere near as bad as it used to. I have certainly been improving with my viewpoints on these things with using art materials in the last few years, but it is something that I notice is still there, and it's still something that I'm working through. Yeah. You might notice that I am kind of doing this voiceover all in one sitting because I am kind of trying to emulate as if this was that like live stream-esque video, but it's not. I just feel like doing it this way. A little bit more chatty, I guess, less edited down. And you will also notice how much I kind of ramble all over the place. I ramble all over the place anyway, even when I do the more edited voiceovers, but now you get to see full, all over the place Dana. I'm on the last sketch now, which is like a back view 3/4. So I did like a front view on the third, and then this is the back view, which was a really interesting angle to do because you could still see the canines at the front of the skull poking through, and it was a really interesting angle for the cheekbones. I love, this sounds really weird, I love how the cheekbones look for cat and wolf skulls. That sounds really weird, but bear with me. When I'm studying animal skulls, cat, especially cat and big cat skulls, the shape of the face is largely formed by the shape and the protruding of the cheekbones. So you can really, really easily understand the shape of a cat face because of the skull underneath. And I have I have an appreciation of the cheekbones in cat skulls. This sounds so weird. Yay, animal anatomy. You can see me working on the cheekbone and the lower jaw here, and then also how it curves into the eye socket as well. Lots of beautiful natural curves and straights. I did simplify the teeth in areas, partially just because it wasn't really my main focus with these sketches, and also partially because while this skull is it's pretty accurate in its rendition, in its portrayal of a real cat skull, the teeth aren't obviously as distinct as if they were real, especially when it comes to the front teeth. You can tell that it is more of a replica when you look at the really, really tiny front teeth. Here are the finished sketches and some close-ups, as well as the full spread. And I had a lot of fun doing these and hanging out and chatting with you. Let me know what kinds of chatting sketchbook hangouts you like watching, especially while you're drawing. And what do you like studying with art as well? Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!